Hello and welcome to the It's Your Time show with me, your host, Abigail Barnes. I am so excited that we get to hang out together today talking all about procrastination, percolation, and what it is all about, and whether maybe you are not a procrastinator. So, if you are joining me live, please let me know in the comments where you are joining from, because I love to hear from you. If you are joining on the replay, let me know you are joining on the replay. And if you are listening to this on audio on the podcast, then that is absolutely awesome as well. So you are listening to the It's Your Time show, where we meet entrepreneurs and professionals and have conversations all about your time, what you're doing with your time, what they did with their time, what changes they have made to their life and with their time. And sometimes we have amazing episodes like this, where it is just you and me, and we get to sort of talk and go a little bit deeper into something. So today I wanted to talk all about procrastination, because every single person that I speak to, literally, this is the topic of conversation. When I say, what is your biggest challenge when it comes to time management? Well, maybe every single person is a slight moderation, but pretty much every other person says time management. Their biggest challenge is procrastination, and that they're not starting things, they don't do things, they don't know why they're doing things. And yeah, how can I help? What can I do? So I really wanted to sort of deep dive into this a little bit more. And we just had an amazing conversation over on Clubhouse earlier today. So if you're listening to this on the replay, by earlier today, I mean Wednesday, because we are sort of talking on this show on Wednesday. And we were just sort of really deep diving into procrastination and what it means for them. And people in that room shared some amazing stuff. And if you're on Clubhouse, you'll be able to listen to it on replay. And if you're not, then send me a message and I will send you the link so you can listen to that one. But today, I want to share my 4 procrastination archetypes that might be keeping you stuck, in order to help you ascertain whether you are really procrastinating or you are percolating. And just for a language, so let me know in the comments if you have any idea of what you think I mean by percolating, and or if percolating is perhaps a word that is not in your vocabulary and you're slightly confused, like, what does she mean, percolating, procrastinating? I don't really know. Anyway, let me know, because I would love to hear what you actually think it is before I go into these 4 procrastination archetypes, because it might be that I am sort of the only one that sees things like this, but it might also be that we share something in common. So let me know in the comments. Right, let me do something very exciting. I've been practicing how to switch between screens. So if you're watching this, you'll be able to see some slides. If you're listening to this on audio, don't worry, I will be sharing them. So let me try to do it. Okay, so you can still see me. Here we go. Amazing. Right, let me do it. Yeah. So the first archetype in all of this, am I procrastinating, am I percolating, is analysis paralysis. Let me make this full so that you can see what I look like as a cartoon. I got cartoons drawn up when I published my first book, Time Management for Entrepreneurs, and they are also included in my revised and updated edition, Time Management for Entrepreneurs and Professionals. But these were extra ones that were done. If you've been hanging out with me for a while, they were done when I used to run a club called the Procrastination Breakthrough Club. So analysis paralysis, what is this, and do you think you have it? So listen while I'm sort of going on and see if you identify with this. So analysis paralysis is you've got an activity that you need to do and you are just looking at it this way, looking at it that way, getting more data, phoning a friend, doing some more research, looking at it, in another way, asking people, have you done this? What do you think about this? Should I do this? And just analysing. Perhaps this is your form of procrastination. Perhaps this is sort of the area that you're stuck in when it comes to procrastination. And I could see in the comments that you are writing percolating coffee. And that is exactly what I meant by percolating. And I was telling them in the Clubhouse room earlier that I used to deliver this as a talk. And when we were speaking about procrastination and we were speaking about percolation, and I was saying it's like when you make coffee, and you put the coffee grounds in and then you pour the water on and then you wait and then you push it down and then you've got coffee. And audiences, as time went on, audiences started looking at me like really confused. What is she talking about? You put the coffee grounds in. I have a little pod and I put it in the thing and that makes my coffee. Or I go to a coffee shop. So suddenly I was really out of touch with everybody when it came to conversations about coffee. And I love coffee in all different ways. And then we even got on to the conversation about the coffee machines where you put the coffee in the middle and you put the water in the bottom. And then the water goes through it and the coffee bubbles up into the top, which actually makes really nice coffee and is more sort of a thing in Europe. So if you've spent time in Europe, in Italy, in France, you've probably consumed coffee like that. Anyway, the point of whether maybe you're percolating rather than procrastinating is to recognize that it is taking time to come up to the taste that you want to enjoy. So if you don't drink coffee, then perhaps let's do another analogy, tea. So you leave tea to brew. You leave either the tea bag in while it's brewing, or you make tea in a teapot, again, with leaves, tea leaves. So you put them into your teapot and then you pour water on top of it. And or if you get all of your beverages from shops, I need to come up with an analogy that works for you. But perhaps it is while you are queuing in the queue to get your beverage from the shop. This is what percolating means. So this is where you need to do something and you haven't done it yet. So perhaps maybe number one, you are stuck in analysis paralysis. Perhaps maybe number two, and you can let me know in the comments if any of these are resonating now, or you can, when I've shown you all four of them, you can sort of say which one of the four you really resonate with. Perhaps this one, number two, the Bartering Bargainer, is a one that you recognize from a procrastination point of view. Do you find yourself bargaining with yourself and saying, I'll do it after I've done this. I'll just, watch another episode of that box set and then I'll do it. Or I'll just need to tidy up first and then I'll do it. Is bartering something that you find yourself doing from a procrastination point of view? So this would be our second kind of archetype. Are you identifying with any of these? And then our third one, constantly confused. Do you find that when it comes to what activities you need to do, whether it be in your career, in your business, or your life, you are just constantly confused and you are finding yourself saying, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do next. So I was having a conversation with my best friend and we were talking about decision making. And she said, she's, a qualified solicitor. And she said that one of her trainers over the years, one of her lecturers, said that when it comes to decision making, there's three things that you need to think about. So one, what is the outcome and do I want that outcome? Number two, what would happen when I get that outcome? And then number three, do I need more data in order to be able to make this decision? So this is where it's kind of a little bit connected to the first one. So the first one, we can get ourselves in analysis paralysis, but then this one, we can get ourselves constantly confused. So it can just become a circle. I'm analysing, I'm confused, I'm analysing, I'm confused. So which might suggest to me that there is more data that you need in order to be able to make that decision, and that the data that you've got isn't actually the data that you need. And sometimes in this, and obviously it really does depend who you are and what you're talking about, sometimes in all of this, it can be that the consequences of the decision that we are going to make is going to change our life. It's going to change our life beyond who we actually know ourselves as right now. And we're scared about that. We're nervous about that. What will people think if I succeed? And then what will people think if I fail? So we get ourselves stuck into this loop. And if you've hung out with me on trainings before, or you've come to some of my events, perhaps you even came to the Procrastinator Breakthrough Club way back when, you will have seen me during the success failure cycle, where we just get trapped in, I'm afraid of my success, I'm afraid of my failure, I'm afraid of my success, I'm afraid of my failure. And what we actually need is more data. And what we actually need to do is perhaps find a coach, find a mentor, read a book, take a course, ask somebody who has been where we want to go. And we need to be saying to them, what do I need to know? What don't I know? What questions am I not asking that I need to be asking that would help me, that would benefit me? Because our brains can be overwhelmed with data, but it's not helpful data. Does this make sense? Let me know in the comments if you've got any questions as we're going through. And I can see analysis paralysis really resonates with some of you. I love it. And then the final one of the 4 archetypes. So archetype number 4 is deceptively distracted. Now, this one is a really, really sneaky one, because this one, in essence, is basically just, are you busy being busy? Are you doing all of the things that need to be done, but that don't necessarily need to be done today, don't necessarily need to be done by you, and are not contributing to what it is that you want to get done? So are you, achieving stuff, doing stuff? It's almost like, are you busy? Are you this busy person being really, really busy, getting, going through everything, doing all the things, but you're not doing the things you need to do in order to move the needle, in order to create the results that it is that you want, in order to change your life, change your career, change your relationship? Are you just keeping yourself really, really busy? So those 4 archetypes, let me know in the comments if you are resonating with any of them and which ones. So I'll go through them again. Deceptively distracted, constantly confused, a bartering bargainer, or analysis paralysis. Or perhaps you're a combination of all of them. And here is the thing. In life, we are always doing something for a reason. There is always an outcome for us. We are being served. Sabotage keeps us small. Sabotage keeps us safe. And it might be that in our lives, we're not incentivized to be successful because nobody we know is successful, and successful people are not nice people. And whatever stories and beliefs are running through your mind from your family, your upbringing, your culture, wherever, this is running the show. This is driving your metaphorical car of your life, if you like. So what this conversation is here to do is be a gateway, is to shine a light. Imagine I've got a torch. I'm doing it backwards. To shine a light on you, on your situation, on your life right now, wherever you are, so that you can ask the question of yourself, am I deliberately doing these things? And is it helpful for me? and what is the outcome that I'm actually getting from it? And am I looking at what I can fix? Am I looking at what I can improve? Am I looking for problems, or am I trying to progress my life further forward? So I hope that these 4 archetypes have been helpful for you. When it comes to procrastination, as I said, it is a really deep conversation, and we don't have time to fully go into it today, because there is a lot more that needs to be said. So what I have decided to do and what I have put together is a webinar. And in this webinar, I'm going to share 7 steps to help you start creating change and to help you start creating success today. So this webinar is absolutely free for you to sign up for. It's this Friday, the 25th of February. It's at 2:30 p.m. GMT. And I will share a link to it for you to book your place if you haven't already, because I've been speaking about it in all sorts of places, in my free group on Facebook, the Productive Wellbeing Community. I've also emailed you if you're on our list. It's been sort of shared and talked about all over the place. If we hang out on social media, you'll see that it's also on my social media as well. So in this webinar, How to Stop Procrastinating Today, I'm going to talk a little bit more about these 4 archetypes and share these 7 steps to help you beat procrastination. So we're going to cover 3 things. First of all, we're going to talk about what is procrastination, so those archetypes, and then we're going to talk about why, number 2, why we procrastinate. So I can go a little bit more into this fear of success, fear of failure, because we are getting a result from procrastinating. We don't just do it because we're lazy. That nobody is actually lazy. There's always a reason. And self-sabotage, self-worth is usually that reason that is driving most of it. And then the third thing we'll talk about is these 7 steps to beating procrastination and creating new habits for success. So by the end of our time together, we'll probably hang out for, I don't know, maybe 30, 40 minutes. You will be able to come away with practical, actionable tips, tools, and strategies that you can use to help you with this percolating, procrastinating conundrum that we happen to find ourselves in. Because the reason that I've titled this, Are You Percolating or Procrastinating, is I want you to recognize and to understand that more often than not, you actually are doing well. You are okay. And that it is just little tweaks and little upgrades and updates and things that you need to do in order to be able to create the life that it is that you want to have. So if you've got any questions, drop them in the comments now. Otherwise, I'm going to call our conversation today complete and look forward to seeing you again next week, when we will be joined with a special guest and having sort of another conversation about people's experiences and what has happened to them in their life and how they have been able to overcome it. So thank you so much for joining me. I have loved being able to share these cartoon archetypes with you and to hang out with you today. And if you watch this back on replay, let me know. And the link to sign up to the webinar, the free webinar, is in the comments of this post as well. And some other exciting stuff coming up. We're going to be doing our first ever LinkedIn audio only room next month with a special guest who I know all of you are absolutely going to love. And this is in beta, so this is not available to many people around the world. So I'm very fortunate to be one of the few people to be able to host rooms like this, audio only. So we will give you 7 days notice so that you can save the date, because there will be no recording of it. There will be no replay. There will be no opportunity to listen back. But I have no doubt you are going to love that conversation. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, keep washing your hands.